I'm Dakota. I'm an 817-year-old vampire.
Hi, I'm Rachel. I am but a human.
And you like vampires, such as this
Yes!
book.
I love vampires. And so, happy October. And if you didn't know, this October marks the 20th anniversary of a very popular vampire novel, one that I would say completely changed the course of YA literature for a generation, and that is Twilight by Stephenie Meyer. Twilight is one of my favorite book series. If you've read it before or if you've never read it at all, now would be a great time to pick it up. It is great. The setting is so beautiful and so great for the fall season. It really gets you in the spooky spirit with the Pacific Northwest, foggy, trees, mystery. And if you've never read Twilight, it focuses on a 17-year-old human girl named Bella who moves to Forks, Washington to live with her dad. She starts high school and meets the mysterious and dazzling Edward Cullen. Sparks ensue.
And sparkles.
Hey. It is a wonderful series, and there is some talk of maybe some new Twilight content being released. So now would be a great time to revisit or try it out for the first time. We have all of the books here at the library and all of the movies. And if you'd like to maybe try reading the series in a different way, we also have the novella, The Short Second Life of Bree Tanner. We have the Twilight Saga official illustrated guide. So if you're reading the books and you're like, wait, what the heck is going on? This will tell you what the heck. It is a beautiful book and I highly recommend it.
Plus, the movies are going to be re-released in AMC in marathon format in October also, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, so that'll be a
so
good time.
Excited.
When I was in high school, instead of Twilight, I was reading Dracula by Bram Stoker, and then I was all excited because I heard about this movie, Twilight, and I was all into vampires. So it's like, yay, I'm gonna go see this movie, it's gonna be great. And then I hated it because it wasn't scary at all. However, I have grown to appreciate them for what they are, and I agree.
Twilight is a good intro to vampires if you think they might be too scary for you. The vampires are very sparkly.
Sparkly, not scary. There's still some, I was surprised though when I reread it as an adult that there was some more horror elements than I remembered. So still not as much as like Dracula or the vampire novella Carmilla by Sheridan Le Fanu. Joseph Sheridan Le Fanu. I skipped the Joseph. I knew something was wrong. Which is about a lesbian vampire and is also so good and very creepy.
My introduction to Carmilla, I was either in high school or just out of it, but there is a fantastic YouTube series by the same name. Highly recommend.
And there is a novelization of it, which we don't have at the library, but you can read on Hoopla, I think. I think it's Hoopla. I brought another book, also, a Dracula adaptation manga. It's a 4-volume series, and the art is gorgeous. It's set at a school in London, I think. And so all of the main characters are teenagers, and it's super scary. So highly recommend that adaptation. Yeah.
Another vampire series that I love, and this was kind of what I moved into after I read Twilight in high school. When I was moving into college, I found the Sookie Stackhouse vampire novel series. It came before Twilight, but it does have the same element of Sookie Stackhouse is a waitress living in Bonton, Louisiana, and she has the ability to read minds, and so her brain is just like constantly filled with noise from other people's thoughts. But then when a mysterious vampire, Bill, comes into the restaurant where she works, all of a sudden, poof, quiet. She can't hear his thoughts. How fascinating. And so it follows Sookie. It's kind of more of like a cozy mystery series, I'd say, because the first book centers around like a series of murders in her town, and they're trying to figure out who's behind them. So it's still like not as scary as Dracula, but it is more intense than Twilight, I would say. The series, I think this first book came out in 2000, so there are some elements in it that definitely are a product of its time and didn't age as well. So if you feel like those might take you out of the story, the series that was on HBO, True Blood, was based on the Sookie Stackhouse books. It's a lot darker than the books.
Not cozy, right?
Not cozy, no. It's very dark, very gritty, scarier vampires. And I feel like a lot of the things that maybe don't work as well in the book series now, they found a way to like make them work and be more inclusive and diverse in the series. So highly recommend. I think this is one example of where I actually like the adaptation more than the original source material. Although I do love the series, but highly recommend. I think it's on, well, we have all the DVDs here at the library, but then it's also available to stream on Max if DVDs are not your thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
One other vampire book that I wanted to mention, vampire adjacent book. The most recent one I've read, I think, is it's called Slayers Every One of Us, How One Girl in All the World Showed Us How to Hold On, by Kristen Russo and Jenny Owen Youngs. And this book is so good. It's about the two authors who used to be married, and they made a podcast about Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and they talked about each episode and wrote songs about each episode. So the book is about them making the podcast, but it's also kind of about Buffy. So if you've never watched Buffy, now's a really good time because there's a new series that just finished filming its pilot episode, and it's gonna be very good. And if you do watch or rewatch Buffy, I recommend listening to the podcast, Buffering the Vampire Slayer. It's so good, and the songs, even if you don't listen to the podcast, the songs are amazing, so go listen to the songs.
Also, if you are a fan of Buffy and you've watched it in the past, there are a lot of great Buffy novelizations that have come out in the past like 5-6 years, and we have most of them available here to check out. So like I know there's Chosen, there's a novelization that focuses around Spike, there's a Terra novelization, and they are very good. Highly recommend. Yeah.
Yay.
Yay.
Thanks for joining us for our vampire bite.